Welcome back, and today I'm going to just make a video about my units and how I might use them in Guild Wars, because as some of you know, usually below all of my Guild War videos, or most of my Guild War videos, I have an imager link showing the units that I've used, but today I've gotten a warning which I've already got removed because one of the imager links apparently had some explicit content. So I'm going to just put this video below my videos now, so sorry for the inconvenience, and let's just get straight to it. In general, what is a rule in this video is whenever I'm talking about a DPS, and I might not say about it explicitly, there is variations like where I just remove speed boots and give attack boots just if I need it slower, or if I need it faster, or if I need just a tiny bit faster but more damage, something like that. That can always happen and usually happens. I just cannot say every single combination of gear variants that I used on all of these units. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Here's chat. Sometimes I use him as a Kisebait. He's just really good for that sole purpose, and I've actually used him last Guild War. Usually he has a counter helmet, of course, to have the counter set complete, but since I didn't want to get magic for friend that one battle, I switched it for something else. Yeah, just the DPS Charlotte, well, that's how I've used her all the times. Lately built my Milim, also pretty good when I fight against Landy. My Ilynav that you probably know from the combination with AQC and Mediator Kawerik. She usually stays like that. I think I have not changed her equipment yet. Just that, of course, Crown is not that good. My Achates, a little bit tanky, a little bit of speed and a little bit of resistance. Because the resistance isn't that high, I have her on immunity, and yeah, she does a great job. When I need to like one-shot something and get an additional turn, it's Luna that is going to be there. So yeah, if I need something to get one-shotted and extinct, it's Sigret. Pretty good. And even her other skills are pretty strong. I've used SSB pretty often lately too, but of course with Drink, or maybe something similar. Injury does a very nice job, so yeah. Very rarely used, but still gotten a use once when you need very high resistance. And on either anything that gives additional resistance or additional healings. Emilia is pretty good as a pusher, and especially cleanse and pushed attack buff, so she is getting used very often, sometimes on Doctor's back if I want to get rid of like attack break from Lilius or something. My Zahhak pretty fast, basically to go after Sinji, and usually on Symbol of Immunity, does the job for most Violets out there, so yeah. I know she has no build, but when I use her, or like I have used her, she is usually having my Momo gear, so what you've seen earlier, just entire gear on her. Sometimes I've also used my Landy, that's usually how I keep her. I think once I had to put attack boots on her to make her nuke a little stronger. My Pavel also just for high speed damage if I need it, and sometimes on Symbol or something if I really need as much damage as possible. Roana usually always stays the same, just a different artifact depending on the situation, like Shimadra or Touch of Rakos or something. Whenever I need a very good light bait that literally just stands there as a wall. GP on POV. The unit I use the most to, or like, well, not maybe the most anymore, but to get rid of Aravis is my Little Queen, and yeah, 0 speed is fine, like 99.99% of the time. So fight Amaya if I need a light wall that basically doesn't care about debuffs on either Noble Oath or POV, or like situation depending. My last warrior Krau actually hasn't seen a lot of use lately, also especially not since I've joined Talentless, but in case I will ever use him, here he is on Adamant. My Watcher, yeah, just standard one-shot build, sometimes on Sasha. Aola also does a pretty good job against some Guild War defenses right now. I've used her on HP boots, I think, or something like that, once for a Landy team, and she worked out pretty well. I'm going to use her more often when there are some AoE follow-ups after Sea Lilies especially. My Gloomyrain, if I need a speed imprint and book for my Pavel, like she hasn't been used with gear yet, but she's probably going to soon, so yeah. My Doris, always also going to be my Dark Elemental hero, wall. Candlestick, I usually never switch to another artifact because Candlestick procs pretty often. And yeah, mostly just to tank Aravis. Dark Corvus also got used pretty often lately. Artifact also depending on the situation, like Portray or POV or Seed, as you see here. Khawazu also pretty good against Cereses if there is a threat that you want to remove immediately and him getting a big push. Like sometimes I need him slower of course, and that would be when I put attack puts on him. My Emilia has also seen a few fights already. He's just gotten an update recently, but yeah, depending on the situation, either he keeps the Strax Gauntlet or gets the Secret Scythe. My Medric also pretty good, usually use him in the LQC combo where he is good enough, so yeah. My Straze, his situation is also heavily depending on if I need him slower or faster. Sometimes he has attack boots, sometimes he doesn't. My Pyllis, I've just recently made her even more tanky just to be even more of a wall, POV or adamant. Sometimes Crozet also is pretty good to protect your backline, where I've used him sometimes even for Emilia or something. He has either adamant or Bastion of Pelusia. My Arby lately seen much less PvP, but still can be used sometimes if there is a team that just wants to get one-shot from a reviving unit. Sometimes I've even used my Remnant Violet to one-shot a light unit and he does a very good job. My Operator Sigret, her artifact is also changing pretty often, like if I need to be max damage it's Portray or maybe Guiding Light, or as you see Sashaitan is there. But also sometimes I switch her neck for something to be slower because she's too crazy in the vicinity of RNG to my Emilia. Alot's just doing Alot's things. He's not very fast, which is a problem for me, but I mean, he works when I use him, so that's about it. Usually when I use Specter, she also has a soul book or something similar, maybe even symbol. My Tomoka also getting used pretty often lately, pretty good against Mercedes for me. And yeah, artifact also depending whether I need souls or like just her to do as much damage as possible. My Sinji, as you have seen, I had like 2 or 3 to 60 DPS units, which is where she goes before. Also, Dr. Spec is just in case I go against the Ceres or something, or maybe Sea Lilies. Even though I wouldn't risk her going against Sea Lilies because she has so low effect resistance. Maybe you got a good insight in my most used units in Guild Wars. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it and see ya!